Hey church, welcome to Worship Wednesday. The theme this week is following Jesus. You know, there are many things that we follow, and there are several things that we follow real closely. Maybe it's a favorite sports team, or maybe it's a hobby that we love, or friends on Facebook. You know, probably the last few days it's been the weather, as we've experienced a lot of ice and a lot of snow. I heard someone say a couple of days ago, make sure you keep your eye on the weather. I'm not really sure with keeping one eye on the weather what that does. I think they're saying you need to be careful and you need to pay attention and continually look at the TV or the radio and listen for the breaking news about the storm. Well, usually following those things doesn't cause a huge issue until we hear people saying things like this to us. You know, that sport, that's the only thing you ever care about. You know, the only thing that you ever talk about is your hobby. You're consumed by that. Well, it's at that point we usually need to stop and we need to evaluate how close we were following after those things. This week I was studying Joshua and the fall of Jericho. And I'd like to read to you from chapter 5, verses 13 and 14. It said, when Joshua was near the town of Jericho, he looked up and he saw a man standing in front of him with sword in hand. Joshua went up to him and demanded, "Are you friend or foe?" "Neither one," he replied. "I am the commander of the Lord's army." At this, Joshua fell with his face to the ground in reverence. "I am at your command," Joshua said. "What do you want your servant to do?" Why is it that we often say God is on our side, when the real question is, am I on God's side? I think we can learn a very important lesson from following Jesus from this story. Do we live our lives expecting Jesus to follow us? Or do we live our lives following Jesus and being less concerned about the things of this world? You know, I have to confess that is often true of me. Being so caught up in all the things of this life that I expect Jesus to follow me and provide for my needs. But you know, following Jesus means that my life is consumed in a daily pursuit of Him, not of this world, not of the things that fade. And that means often in choosing Him, there's things that I have to leave behind. And so ask yourself this question. Are you following God and wanting Him to be on your side? Or are you following after this world and want God to be supplying your need? I think we need Joshua's attitude where he says, "Tell your servant what you want me to do." When our desire is that, I believe we will follow after Jesus. Thank you for joining us for Worship Wednesday. May God bless you as you follow Him.